Welcome back to another Canon Quick Shot, a quick review of a non-comic book and superhero movie. I'm your host Terry, and today I'm looking at The Shape of Water by Guillermo del Toro. So this is a very hot movie, has all the Oscar buzz as we get into that season, had a lot of buzz coming out of film festivals earlier in the year, and it is basically the story of two cleaning ladies that work at a government research facility, and one day they run across this thing they call the asset, which is basically some type of aquatic life form that we know nothing about. And so this is set in, I believe, the 50s or 60s, kind of back in that time. But basically, Michael Shannon is one of the government, military type dudes that brought it in. And he's overseeing the operation. And they eventually decide they want to dissect it and, to learn about it and then, kind of get rid of it. And the main lead, played by Sally Hawkins, falls in love with the creature and she wants to free him and set him free. So it's actually a pretty simple plot when you just kind of stop and, spell it out. But it does have its own little different, deeper moments kind of in between. So, yeah, so again, I like this movie. I do struggle a bit because these are the type of movies where the normal fan, when you hear Oscar movies and stuff, they go, oh, it's just artsy fartsy for, kind of stuck up people. This is one of those movies that would probably make them feel correct about that assumption because it is all over the place to me. I think there's some really great visuals. I mean, it's really nice how it's practical. All the effects are practical for the most part. There's no CGI. And, it's just acting and the set pieces and all that. So that's good. And the performances are pretty strong, but the story is just all over the place. And I think the biggest thing for me is I never fell in line with the love story between Sally Hawkins and the creature. It just did not make sense to me. And I honestly think there's other movies that have done it better because they bring up, the question of what does it mean to be human if we just let living things die or if we treat them cruelly or blah, blah, blah. This thing can think and understand and feel. The most human thing we can do is to preserve that life. And I just feel like there's other movies that did that so much better. And I will already call it out. Blade Runner 2049. I'll take Ryan Gosling and Joy over Sally Hawkins and this creature. It just it didn't make sense for me. And so what kept me in the movie though was Michael Shannon's performance. Now he's a monster. At this point, you can't really say much against Michael Shannon as playing any supporting role, but definitely a hard nose or villain type. He is great at that. So that's what kept me in the movie, the suspense of him kind of being the antagonist and what he was going to do. So, but other than that, I thought it was all over the place. There's some cool things that are brought up. There's some cool visuals. There's this and that. But it just never comes together for me. Yeah. So as far as a grade first, I would say I gotta give it, I'm struggling here, but I'm gonna give it a 82%. It's definitely a B movie just for the creativity from the technical point of views and a lot of the performances. Even still, it's just the story, it really lost me. So I'm gonna give it 82 out of 100. As far as the Oscar, buzz and whatnot, the movie is definitely going to end up with a Best Picture nomination. I definitely don't think it's going to win. I don't think it should win. But the way it's shot and the way the buzz is going, I think is definitely going to get that nod. Michael Shannon, yes, he should most definitely get a Best Supporting Actor nomination. Again, after doing his thing in Nocturnal Animals, which not too different, these characters, but man, Michael Shannon's a force. You can't stop watching him on screen. Sally Hawkins definitely going to get a best lead-in actress performance in The Shape of Water because of what she had to do. This is not a spoiler. It's in the trailer, but she's a mute. So she doesn't talk in the movie. So it's a lot of the, things that she has to do with the movie, or her performance. You might get a supporting actress from Octavia Spencer. I just feel like they give her, nom whenever she's in stuff now. She was good, but I don't think nothing great. And then I forgot the guy's name, but that plays her best friend, who's her neighbor. He was in Step Brothers. He was the dad. It's funny because mostly through the movie, I just kept laughing thinking about him in Step Brothers, but he was pretty funny in this movie. I think he might get a supporting nomination as well. But, so a lot of rewards for this movie. And I wonder if they're going to give like costume or, whatever for the aquatic creature. Now he's played by Doug Jones. You might not know the name, but you've seen him. He was in Hellboy as like the aquatic creature that looks exactly like this one, to be honest. And he played, the body form of Silver Surfer. And you see him in a lot of different mocap stuff. So, I wonder if he might get, or not him, but the makeup artist might get a nomination. So anyway, that's my thoughts about The Shape of Water. And the last thing I'll say, actually, why do we have to keep putting nudity in all these movies? There's so much nudity in The Shape of Water that's not needed. I just don't get it. And I'm starting to think Sally Hawkins is a new up and coming actress because there's a trend where if it's your earlier projects, there's a good chance as a female you got to get naked in it. And I just think it's a shame. And they wonder why we have all these sexual harassment claims and allegations and stories and crap in Hollywood when you just look at the screen. Like, it's uncomfortable watching that stuff sometimes, and let alone thinking about the process of picking that person and rehearsing it and filming it. It's just creepy. And I don't know. That's me. I just think and another thing I'll say is I'm not a Guillermo del Toro person. Not saying that I don't like his stuff. I just haven't seen a lot of his movies. Like, I looked down his list and the only thing I've seen is Blade 2. And I could tell he's just not my cup of tea type guy. But, at the same time, it's not against him. It's just all movies. Like, stop making people get naked. For 99% of the movies I've seen, it's not needed. So, anyway, go comment section. Let me know what you think of The Shape of Water. If you saw it, are you wanting to go see it? What do you think his Oscar chances is? Like, thumbs up, subscribe, and if you heard it's official canon.